Welcome, artists, to this soft pastel lesson where I'll share with you one of my favorite ways to blend soft pastels and a few new discoveries that I made in this pastel painting tutorial. Come on into the studio and here we go. If you've been painting for a while like I have, you may have looked back on some of your artwork and thought, that was pretty good, or I'd like to try that technique again. And if you know my channel, I have a lot of videos that I can resource and go back and look at. I have over 1,000 videos on my YouTube channel and 800 on my Patreon page. So I've made a lot of discoveries along the way, and one of them was in this video. It's from 4 years ago. It's called I Just Discovered the Best Product for Blending Soft Pastels. And in that video, I experimented with many of the different products that I have used for blending. And this was a new one though. I had never tried it before, and I'm going to share with you why I love it. So in today's lesson, I'll be using this product with some beautiful pastels that I love by Monet Pastels. These pastels are from Spain, and I just love the company, and the colors are so gorgeous and they blend beautifully with this product. The surface I will use is Canson Velvet. This is the cream color. It comes in a dark as well, and I needed to use this lighter surface for this technique. It's a mixed media pad. You can use it for pastels and really anything that is kind of a wet medium. If you haven't heard of it before, it's called Airbrush Medium. I get mine from the Golden Company. And let me know if you're an airbrush artist and you know how to use this with airbrush painting. That would be cool information to know. But I use it for blending pastels. Now, I'm giving you a quick little recap, so you'll just kind of have the idea before we get started with the painting tutorial. I have used all of these products over the years, and in the video, I will have the link to my former video in the description of this video, so you can check out the full tutorial. But this is when I had tried Airbrush Medium for the first time. So I had applied little swatches of blue pastels and tried each one. The first one's water, second one's alcohol, and those are probably the two products I use the most for blending soft pastels until I tried the Airbrush Medium. But this third one is called Matte Medium. The fourth one is Gamsol Odorless Mineral Spirits. That's not my favorite, but this is the Airbrush Medium. The consistency is a little bit like milk, and boy, was I surprised. I could even see a color difference. Can you see that here? It really liquefied the pastels in such a creamy way, but it was still quite translucent with the paper. And here I am just showing some other colors, but I want to specifically show you, I did this one first, how this color blends on top of another color. And I think you can see the translucent effect I was talking about. It sort of creates a new color, almost like painting with a wet medium. And you can see the other ones, they just kind of look muted and dull. But the Airbrush Medium layered in such a way that you can see through to the color underneath, and thus sort of making a new color. It's really fun, and it moves on the surface so nicely. All right, so I did use some different brushes. I think I only used 2 of these, but I have a stiff bristle brush. I use this one a lot just for texture, and I decided to use mostly this softer brush. I thought, well, let me not get too carried away with the texture and just focus on the blending of the soft pastels. And this is a fan brush. I think I might have used that on some of the upper trees, but not much. And I didn't exclusively use the Monet Pastels. This is a little appetizer tray. I love it because you can arrange your colors like the color wheel. And I usually take my remnant pastels from previous paintings and just loosely arrange them. And I've put some extra Monet Pastels in the middle here. Look at those gorgeous greens. I'm going to walk over in my studio here and show you the set that I got those from. But these are products that I have to do product reviews on. Very blessed that some companies like Earthberry sent me this set of greens. You'll be seeing a tutorial with that soon. But speaking of greens, this was the Monet set. I think it's Basic Landscape is where I got those greens from. The reference image is a beautiful field of sunflowers that I got from unsplash.com, a great resource for copyright-free reference images. I just love the blues of the mountains and the yellows of the flowers. So I'm starting on my Canson Velvet surface with just a Prismacolor New Pastel. They're long, thin sticks of pastels that are great for sketching with, like I'm doing here. And my surface size, I've kind of marked it off to be approximately 14 inches by 11 inches. And I'm trying to capture some of the energy of this field. And I felt like things were kind of sweeping and had a motion of kind of converging towards the mountains. And often in my sketches and underpaintings, I try to capture that energy, some sense of movement and life and gestural mark making. And it sort of sets the stage for your painting to have a more impressionistic feel. So now I'm just getting in some of the trees and now some of the flowers. I typically just like to make some marks for primarily my focal point flowers. And there were definitely some in the foreground that felt like they were blowing in the wind and had a movement. Now, a lot of them are turned to the right side and not facing the viewer, kind of at a diagonal, the way the flowers are facing. I think of them as faces. And they also are turned in all kinds of different directions. So I try to resist the urge to have a pattern. I'm almost doing it here. I kind of have some of my flowers too much in a row. So I try to randomize that a bit, and as I did here. And I noticed in the reference image, the flowers, a lot of them have that out of focus effect that you can get in photography with aperture settings on your camera. And as I often say, I'm not trying to copy the reference image. I'm trying to use it as inspiration. And now I'm going to go ahead and block in. This is the block in stage for the underpainting. Remember, I'm going to be liquefying my first layers of pastel. And by the way, you can do this dry. I have all kinds of different methods that I use for underpainting, some with wet mediums, some with dry mediums. You'll see me do use a product to blend once some of these pastels are dry after I do the underpainting. So I'll talk about that in a minute too. So I just get a few loose strokes of some of the pretty blues in the sky. Now I'm going to work on the mountain, and I'm using a nice, easy middle value blue. I don't want it too punchy in color. And I noticed it was a pastel that wasn't blending great. Sometimes the edges are more pronounced than the center, so I had to blend it a little bit to smooth it out. And I decided to go a little bit lighter. That's doing the same thing. Sometimes it's good if you have a pastel, you haven't used it in a certain area, to sand it off on a separate paper to get a nice smooth application. And if you're brand new to pastel painting and you're like, I have no idea what's going on here, a lot of times people ask me, isn't this considered drawing and not painting? But no, it's not, because I'm literally just applying broad strokes of color, just like you would with a paintbrush. The difference between drawing and painting is drawing is usually more linear and finer lines, and painting is indeed, pastels can be used for painting. And often I liquefy them and turn them into paint anyway. So yes, pastels are a painting medium as well as a sketching medium. This is a portion of the video where it will be sped up for the YouTube version, but over on my Patreon page, my patrons have much slower speeds, full commentary, but like I say, don't worry, YouTube subscribers, you guys always get plenty of content. And I'm just speeding this up to show you basically the pastel application. And I'm using lots of these beautiful Mammut pastels. So here I'm adding the centers with this gorgeous rusty color. I haven't even taken the labels off of many of these Mammut pastels. But now I'm carving in some of the greens. I absolutely love that green from that Mammut set I've been bragging on. And I added some warmer greens in the background, some cooler blues in the grasses. Look at these gorgeous two colors, this pink and purple Mammut. And I am going to add those to the sunflower petals. I'm putting the purple in the shadowy area and the pink in the area of the light. Now I'm imagining the light as being kind of in the upper left, or right, I should say, upper right. And so there is going to be the pink kind of glow on the right side. Now, why am I using pink? I've used local color for almost the whole background to this, the underpainting pastel application. But I really wanted this yellow to pop on the sunflowers, this golden and these ochre colors I'm going to be adding. And I decided, it's the first time I think I've ever done this, to do a complementary painting or underpainting for just the flowers and not the whole painting. So I was happy with the results too. All right, so now here we go with the airbrush medium. I'm using a fairly large dish because I've got kind of a large painting, and I'm using basically, I think I just ended up using the two brushes. I used that blue brush there, and then this very coarse textured brush. Not sure if I used the fan brush. This one just really gave me some soft effects, and I might have used this one, but not much. A little fan brush. That can give you some nice mark making too. So I started applying it. I wanted to show you real time at first here. And usually I'm a little timid when I first start applying a liquid product, like how much, I couldn't remember how much of this do I use. And I realized quickly I needed more on my brush. Usually it's the opposite. I have too much on my brush. So you could see it's kind of not applying. That's where I started to really add some of the airbrush medium to my paintbrush. And this was so fun. Like I said, you could totally use water or alcohol like I often do. And don't want to be a product pusher. They really have a similar effect, but I do think there's something about this airbrush medium that, I don't know, it changes the consistency of the pastel and it really feels like paint. So I'm just carving into the grasses. I'm trying to avoid the sunflower, the pink and purple on the sunflower petals for now. And I'm so glad in hindsight that I did. You'll see why in a minute. So I'm just carving in. I got my bigger brush here to get into some of these bigger areas. And this looks like a royal mess, right? But don't worry, that's the way underpaintings are supposed to look. So I got a smaller brush and some fresh airbrush medium. I didn't want to contaminate it with the other colors. And I very quickly noticed that this was really darkening the and it's going to dry lighter when it dries, but I thought I don't want this to be this dark, so I opted out of adding the airbrush medium to any more of the sunflowers. So I just used my little packing peanut blending tool that I use so often. It's great for blending soft pastels. And now I'm ready to start painting. Now it's going to be a little while before I get to these sunflowers. So again, the Patreon version has all of that footage, but I'm going to jump ahead just to show you guys the application of the beautiful golden colors on these sunflowers. I don't like to wear you guys out with Patreon advertisements, but I do like to let you know how you can become a patron. It's super easy and affordable, only $5 a month. I get to see your work. I love that part. We have monthly reviews, we have games, challenges, and it's so fun. It's a great family. All right, let's get back to this painting. Oh, and please like this video and do all that stuff, subscribe and everything. All right, so I'm going to now apply some of these golden colors. I mean, these are sunflowers, and I'm using this orange color to be kind of, it's not my brightest. It's a little bit in the shadowy area. And my bright golden color here, again, these are Mammut pastels for my sunflowers that are going to be in the sunshine. Now I have this beautiful little ochre color it's the shadow side. It's not going to be as yellow. It's not as warm. And so I'm using my warmer colors and my brightest colors where the sun is, and ochre colors where it's going to be a little more neutral and the value's just a tad darker. And am I trying to cover up all of this pink and purple? No, I'm just making little gestural marks and letting that pink and purple underpainting show through. That's what makes it so vibrant. Sorry, I'm talking fast, guys. I'm trying to upload this content. It's actually before August that I'm doing this. I'm going on a trip. My husband and I are helping my son and daughter-in-law move. I'm so glad they're moving to Florida. They've been in Kansas for 3 years for her doctorate degree, and they're moving to Florida. She got a job as a professor at Florida State University. Sorry, guys. I like to brag on my kids, and that was a tangent. So thank you for that. So here I'm doing the same thing over and over again, though. So same idea, but I wanted to stress, and again, I'm keeping, this is sped up just slightly, but I think you can see I'm keeping my marks very gestural. And a lot of these sunflowers in the reference image were turned the same way. Sunflowers have a tendency to do that, but I like to give them some variety. Try to take some and let them be turned down like they're getting old, like me. Turn their head down. Of course, I try to hold my head up. I don't do that. But some of them you want to give some variety, and it will make your painting feel more exciting and enjoyable and more like a story. So again, this is the same technique over and over again. Also, I added a little bit of warmth I think I've already added that to some of the centers of the sunflower and sunflowers plural, and it gets kind of monotonous, so I'm going to move ahead a little bit. Here you can see where I'm adding all of my little tidbits of grasses on top of that beautifully liquefied underpainting using the airbrush medium. You can still see the background peeking through. I'm not over layering this, and here's the final. So I hope you can still see that pretty little pink and purple shining through. It really gives that pop of color. I also added some of the turquoise from the mountain into some of the grasses. That's called color echoing. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you liked this, if you've ever tried airbrush medium. And I am so happy to bring you these lessons. I always like to bring these free lessons to YouTube. Even if the content is a little condensed, I think you can still learn a lot. All right, everyone, as always, God bless and happy painting.